Hello YouTube, it's Carlos the Rook and I'm bringing you round 2 from my January action game at Chess Zone, my favorite place to play. And in round 2 I'm playing Henley, who is rated 1414 and I'm 1781 at the time. And I got the black pieces against white. So he starts off d4, d5, c4, Queen's Gambit, and I go e6, Queen Gambit decline. I just started playing this maybe 2 months ago. He go knight f3. I go a6, going into the line I got from Gotham Chess. Shout out to Gotham Chess and the Chess League. They got good videos. It's very instructive. If you haven't subscribed to Chess League, I recommend it. And here he plays bishop f4. Thought that was a bit unorthodox. It's like he's mixing the Queen's Gambit with what's that thing? The opening with the bishop f4, knight f3. So I just thought that was a bit unorthodox. So I went d capture c4. He goes e3, hitting at the c pawn, and I protect it with b5. Here a4. Normally there's a knight on c3 and the move will be b4, but there's no knight there. So I can just go c6 and protect my pawn. He takes, I take back. And I'm just up a pawn with a clear pawn chain. So here, Henley plays bishop e2. His idea is to get his pieces out and castle. So I go bishop b7. And that's where the bishop belongs in these lines. He castles. And now knight f6. My idea is to get my pieces out in the castle. And he pushed up the b3 pawn. I just didn't feel that was right. And the engine puts me at 1.91 here. All I gotta do is take the pawn, queen take, bishop d6, and I got two connected passed pawns on the queen side. So he takes, I take. The engine wants knight on b to d7 here. But I go bishop d6 to get rid of the dark square bishop. He take, I take. And here he goes, knight c3. And I just castle. So now I just need to bring my knight out, bring my other knight out, figure out which square I want my rook on. Do I want my rook on c8 or b8? And just push the queenside pawns, and it should be a win. So he goes knight e5, bringing his knight in. So here I go knight c6, and there was an error. I went from 1.74 to just 0.83 because that was the wrong idea. And he plays b3, bishop to f3, which I thought was a great move. It's pinning the knight. The engine didn't like it. The engine wanted, hold on, what did the engine want? The engine wanted knight d3. Oh, to go to from d3 to c5. That's what the engine wanted. That's how he gets that square. He got a knight outpost. Okay. But Henley went bishop f3. So I went rook on f to b8. So I can capture the knight and my bishop won't be hanging. He captures. I capture back, he captures, I capture back. So we simplified, got a bunch of pieces off, and the engine puts me up 2.58, because now all I gotta do is just move these pawns. Like the move here is, for him he should play rook a5, blocking the pawns, and mine is b4, allowing the knight to go a4 to c5. That's what the engine wants. So I'll just play a little bit of that. Rook a5, b4. Oh, it wants knight e2. No. Now it's saying rook c5. Queen b7. Knight a4. Then knight d7. Rook c2. H6, getting some breather. Rook A1 and A5. So here, I was able to get the pawns up, each pawn up one square, and they're blockaded. So they're not going anywhere anytime soon, but black has a winning position. He's going to trade the rooks off, maybe get the queens off the board, and then black is winning. But Hanley went rook on f to c1. He's trying to do a discovered attack against my queen. And here the engine just wants to ignore it and go a5. Ignore the discovered attack and just go a5. Just get the pawns moving. I went queen b6. And of course my idea is to move the pawns. And he goes rook on c to b1. And his idea is to stop the pawns from moving. But even here, b4. And the reason I didn't go b4 is because b4, knight a4, hitting the queen, queen fall back, knight c5. I didn't want the knight to get to c5. But the engine has black up negative 2.93 and just to play b4 and allow knight a4, allow the knight to come to c5. So I played completely wrong in this position, completely winning. I went queen b7. It's still winning, but just not as big of an advantage. He goes knight a4 anyway, and I can't stop it because if I take, he takes twice. So I go knight e4, and I'm threatening knight d2, forking the queen and rook. And if he comes to knight c5, my knight will capture. So we go queen d3 to protect. And I go queen d5, getting out of the line of the pin, and now I can capture the knight. He goes knight c3, threatening to take the knight. I capture his knight, he captures back, and now I'm back at negative 2.79 with a great advantage. So here I decided h6, just take the time to make some luff so my king can get out if he needs to in the future. And he plays a great move, rook a5, blocking the pawns. And here I just wasn't sure. Like, he got the pawns blockaded. How do I get it moving? So I went with rook c8, hitting the queen. And my idea is to put a rook on the c file and see if I get a rook to c2 and get an exchange on a pair of rooks and maybe get the queens off too. And then I'll be able to move my pawns. The king can come up. So he goes queen d3. And here I actually thought about queen c4, trading the queens, and going rook to c4, like queen c4, queen captures, big pawn captures, and then that the pawn. Hold on, let me see. Let's play this out just to show it. Queen here, queen captures, pawn captures. Oh, they're saying this is a drawn position. King f1, c3, rook c1, c2, rook a2. Yeah, you're going to take that, and then the rook going to be able to come back and block this. So yeah, that wouldn't have worked. So the move I went with was better then. I went rook c4, And here he went queen a3. He's threatening to take this a pawn here. The engine wants rook on a to c8 here. Rook on a to c8. You're giving up the pawn. You're not coming back here. Because that's protected. Rook on a to c8. They got it at negative 4.14. Rook on a to c8. Then it's saying rook f1 or g3. Rook f1. You don't even have to go rook f1. Hold on, why can't you go capture? Because of b4. Queen to a1. Rook c2. Rook f1. Queen b5. Rook a5. Queen e2. Rook c5. b3. So that's the thing. You're giving up that pawn. You're gaining control of the second white's second row, and the b pawn is just going to march in. It's just going to march in. So that was the winning idea. That was the winning idea, which I completely missed. Because I went queen a6, thinking of setting up the ram that way. Supposed to just abandon that pawn. And here he goes h3. He's giving himself some room so to avoid the back rank mate. And I got myself in a pickle here. Because I can't move this rook. The queen and the rook is protecting this pawn. He's threatening to capture here, and if I capture back, it takes twice. I really need this rook to be back on c8. If I had this rook back on c8, if like it was reversed, if just this rook was back on c8, if I could just magically move it back here, then I can make progress. But I just went rook c3 to force the queen around and try and improve my position. So he went queen a1. And here I was debating between rook c2 and g5, but I didn't see where to go to after rook c2. So I just went g5. I felt like all his pieces is on the queen side, blockading these pawns, trying to stop him, and that he's just left his king side open. So I'll get a rook c2, and these pawns marching, I can push on the queen side, on the king side, I mean. But the engine is saying rook c2, and white must prevent b4. So it's queen a3, rook captures f2, king captures f2, queen c2 check, king f3, queen f5 check, king e2, Queen captures B1. That's the line the engine wanted. I ain't see that. So I went G5, and my advantage drops down to negative 1.86. And my idea is H5, G4, busting open the king side. So he goes King H2. I go Rook C2. So now my rook is attacking. And here he plays D5. This move just completely threw me off. Like, he's giving up a pawn in order to try and, if I capture with the queen, rook captures. Queen goes to D2 or D6 check. The rook has to move back. No, the king has to move first. There's always rook captures F2 ideas. I think the engine is saying better is E captures D5. And then his ideas don't work. But I didn't want to do E captures D5 because then I'm blocking the diagonal. I wanted rook captures F2 with the threat of queen captures G2 mate. And for this rook to swing back to G1 in order to defend. I was also looking at Queen C7 check ideas. But they're just saying E captures D5 is best. But I went Queen captures D5. And he went Rook captures B5. And so here, I was thinking, do I want to play Queen D6 check or Queen D2? So I was thinking about 5 minutes here. And my idea was Queen D2. He can capture here. If he captures here, the engine say Rook on A to C8. Ah, that's the move. Rook on A to C8. And then you don't have to worry about the rook dropping down to A8. This queen captures F2. And you capture, I capture, and the position is just drawn. So that was wrong. That was completely wrong. So that's the idea I had, and that's completely wrong. Let me see what the winning idea is here. Because the position is still winning. It's negative 3.21. The idea is Queen D6 check. Queen E5. I thought it was going to be Rook E5. Queen captures. Rook captures. Rook captures F2. H4. G captures H4. Rook E4 to protect the E pawn. Oh, hold on. Oh, Rook E4. That's what it wanted. Rook E4. So it's hitting at the H pawn and it's protecting this pawn. And then black king h7. And if you take this pawn, no, you don't. You go king g1, hitting the rook, rook e2, king f1, rook c2, rook captures h4 now. Oh, rook b8, threatening to mate. That's the move. Rook b8, threatening mate. And this rook can't take here. It got to drop back. Oh, well, king g1 does it. King g1 to go to h2 and retreat. And it's saying give up the a pawn, rook e2, rook a3, rook b5. I think I know. Rook g4, rook blocks. No, the rook don't block. It's king h7. So you're keeping your rooks on the board, and the Stockfish is willing to give away the a pawn in order to capture the e pawn, because you got 3-on-1, and you're keeping both rooks. I would think you give up at least one rook in order to push this. But Stockfish wants to keep both rooks, give up the a pawn for the e pawn, and then push f and e, trade one off for the g pawn, and then you're going to have two passed pawns pushing at the king, at an exposed king. So it seemed like that was the winning idea. So that was my idea. Either queen d6 or queen d2, which I was trying to figure out. And while I was trying to figure that out, Henley asked me for a draw, which I swiftly declined because I knew I was winning. And I got distracted because I just saw rook captures f2 with the idea of queen captures g2 mate. And I thought the queen had to come back, but I completely missed that I just hung my queen. And I couldn't do nothing but laugh. Like, oh my God. It was just so funny. Like, I just made a snap move after rejecting the draw offer. And I didn't even look at it. So he captured my rook, and he was pretty happy. I mean, he captured my queen. He was pretty happy here because now he's completely winning. I take back. Rook captures a6. I go rook e8. I don't want to exchange rooks, but he forces the issue. Queen captures. Drop the rook back, trying to create a fortress. He goes e4. I bring the king up. e5. Now I bring the rook right there. And my idea is just to bring the king here and take this pawn. So he started moving his king. I move mine. He correctly checks me. I fall back. Pawn here. And so here, I was thinking, do I capture this or here? Let's say I capture here. I was worried about h5 check. I can drop down. Then you have this. And I felt like that was just completely crushing for white. So I didn't do that way. I took this way instead. And he surprised me with king f4. So I went h5. He swung his queen on the h5 to pick up my pawn. And I made my last blunder. Queen d3 check. Picks up the rook. And I resign. So what I learned from here, you can have a completely winning position And if you get distracted and lose focus, you can just lose the game. So the takeaway is to stay focused. When you win it, close out the game. You have to win winning positions. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Tell your family and friends about it, and let's grow the channel. Thank you. Goodbye.